Video, we will be looking at two-step inequalities. The directions say solve the inequality and graph the solution on the line provided. Let's take a look at this example here. We are going to solve this inequality the same way we would solve an equation. Okay, the only difference is because it's an inequality, we see this symbol, we're going to have to graph our answer on this number line. Okay, so we're going to start the same way we have before. Draw your line down the middle. Okay, I'm going to try and get this -6 over on the same side as the -22 because they are like terms. This 2 has an x here, so I want to leave that here so I can figure out what the x is. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite here. -6 plus 6. I'm going to do it to the other side as well. -6 plus 6 will cancel. I'm left with 2x is less than or equal to. So I'm looking here, -22 plus 6. If you can do that in your head, do it in your head. If not, -22 plus 6 gives me -16. So I have -16. And then my next step is going to be division. So this is when we talk about two-step inequalities, this is one step. The second step is this division here. We're going to divide both sides by 2. That way x is now by itself. I'm going to bring down my less than or equal to. And -16 divided by 2. Again, you can type this in here if you need to. Gives me -8. Okay, so that's our solving the inequality part. Our next part is going to be to graph the solution. So x is less than or equal to -8. I'm going to find -8 here. Okay, because it has this underline here, we're going to color it in. That is a closed circle. Okay, and because the x is first, we can just follow the arrow. Less than is going to go in this direction. So that means all the solutions to this inequality are all the numbers over here. -9, -10, -11, -12. They go on forever in that direction. All of these numbers here are not solutions. These are your solutions. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at another example on slide 2. Same directions, solve the inequality, and graph the solution on the line provided. So we're going to go ahead and draw our line. Remember here, I want to move the one that doesn't have the x. So -7 does have an x here. So I want to move this -3. So the opposite of -3 is adding 3. If this was addition, you would do subtraction. Just depends, you're doing the opposite. And I'm going to bring down -7x. It's less than or equal to 25 plus 3 is 28. So that's my one step. Now I have to do my second step, which is division. -7 divided by -7 cancels. X. Here's where it gets a little bit different. Because you're dividing by a negative, this sign has to change directions. So less than or equal to is going to become greater than or equal to. 28 divided by -7 is -4. Okay, so remember, this is my solving. That's what I got. X is greater than or equal to -4. We had to switch it because we divided by a negative. And now we can graph it. I find -4. Again, it's a closed circle because it has the underline. And because x is first, you can now follow the arrow. Okay, so all of my solutions are every number over here. -3, -2, -1, 0. Every number to this side of -4 is a solution. These numbers on this side are not solutions to this inequality. So that's our graph of the solution. Let's take a look at one more example here. Same thing, I'm going to draw my line down the middle. Okay, I want to look for the number that doesn't have x. I'm going to move that. So here I have a -7, so I'm going to add 7. -7 plus 7 is going to cancel. I have -6x is less than -31 plus 7. Gives me -24. Okay, that's my first step. I moved that number without an x over to the other side. My second step is going to be to divide. And notice here I'm dividing by a negative number again. Okay, we divide by that negative. I'm going to go ahead and flip my sign. Less than becomes greater than. Negative 24 divided by negative 6 is positive 4. Okay, so again, that's my solving. Now I need to do my graph. I'm going to find 4. This time it's an open circle because it doesn't have the underline, and I can follow the arrow because x is first. So any number over here are solutions, and any numbers over here are not solutions. Okay, so keep in mind when you're solving two-step inequalities, it is mostly the same way that you learned when solving equations. Really, the biggest difference is when you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to change the direction of the sign. That'll make a big difference in your answer. All right, go ahead and try some practice problems now.